Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Medha, aka the CI, and this is going to be my Goa Institute of Management PI experience. Now, GYM accepts their student based on their CAT, XAT as well as CMAT scores, but the cutoffs are different for the exams, so you definitely need to check out before applying. Before starting the video, I just quickly wanted to drop in here and say that I was taking one-to-one mentoring session for people who are confused about CAT, how to self-prepare, what to study. You wanted to ask which omets to give about interviews and colleges, you want to discuss something, so you can definitely reach out to me on my mail or DM. I will be putting that here, and yeah, I will be definitely happy to help you. So now let's actually start the video. I have my laptop here and I've wrote down all the points which I want to talk about so that I don't miss anything important. So starting with the time. My interview experience was around 25 minutes. It can depend on person to person, but on an average it's 20 to 25 minutes for literally every college that I've interviewed for. So for GYM, there is actually 3 rounds. The first is your written or analytical test, and then there is a GD round, and then there is PI round. So the written test happened on a separate day, and the GD and PI happened on another day, and there was, I think, around a week time between these 2 dates. So I've given this interview long time back, like months back, but from what I can recall, the written ability test was for around 30 minutes and the word limit was 250 to 350 words, somewhere like that. And the topic given to me this year was, is general knowledge general? Like, this one was one of the most abstract topic which I came across in any interview, and I literally had to think few minutes before I actually started writing the entire essay. So the written test was basically taken to check how your thought process is, how strategically you can think and write. And once you're done with the essay, you just have to click on the submit button, and then you have to appear for the GDPI on the allotted date which is given to you. Okay, now coming to the second round, that is the group discussion round. So from what I can recall, there were 10 to 12 people present there, and there were 2 ma'am, and the professors basically was there to state out all the rules, how the entire process will be happening. The topic given to us was digital payment is a risk or a convenience. So the teachers basically said that they will not be interfering at all and there will be no moderation, but people need to first introduce ourselves, like one by one. There was an order in which we have to do it, and once we do it, then we have to state our points, and once the entire thing is done, people can jump in and conclude whatever we felt like. Normal GD round, anyone can start with the topic, whoever is the most comfortable with it or whoever wants to, but in this case the professors actually gave the order, and I don't know why my name was first. So even though I was not very comfortable with the topic, or at that point of time I was not very confident, I had to start the entire thing. But I did start and everything went smoothly. Everybody said whatever their points were, and it was a very enriching experience. And after the entire process, I think it would be around 15 to 20 minutes, the teacher asked us to leave the meeting. And after this, we were called for our PI rounds. So now coming to the third round, or the main PI round, there were 2 professors, both male, middle-aged, and I will be referring to them as Professor 1 and Professor 2 for your convenience. So first, the Professor 1 started with asking, how am I? And I replied, I'm fine. And then suddenly he asked what happened after 2020, and it was my graduation year. And if in case you guys don't know, I did take a gap year, and in that gap year I did a lot of things. So basically he was inquiring what I was doing. And then I spoke about my graduation. From that, the professor asked that name few subjects which I've studied in my graduation course, which I absolutely hated. So I am a BBA student, and for me I had to study 36 subjects. So at that point of time, I had to quickly recall which are the subjects which I hated the most, and I did answer few. But when I did, the professor asked that if you hated it so much, don't you think it is important for your course for you to actually learn them? So I replied something like, yes, it is important and I did study for those courses, but I felt like those syllabus for those courses could have been better and more interesting with more case studies and practical examples, so that it would have been more interesting for people like me and we would have grasped the subject better. Then he wanted to know about the XAT, which is my brand, and what do I sell, how does it operate, what are the things which I offer, services and everything, which I explained to him. And the next question was, if the XAT is running, then why am I planning to do an MBA rather than continuing the XAT? So I gave my answer, and then he was like, okay, if it is for you to develop some skill sets, suppose I want to enhance ABC skills, then why am I not doing, or why am I not going for courses by which I can improve ABC skill sets, and why am I selecting to do a proper full-fledged MBA? So I gave that answer that it will be an holistic experience, plus there are more added benefits and I can actually network with people and all those things, which were valid reasons for me to do an MBA at this point of time. And from that, from the conversation, basically I said that the XAT is also generating some money. So, and I needed that at that point of time. So he said that if I am looking for money, then why am I not expanding XAT, and why am I taking the loan to pursue an MBA instead of putting that same amount of money into the XAT? So then I basically explained that if I put that into my business, I don't know how the things will be, because I'm not very experienced and I have just started it without any prior knowledge. So I would like to first do an MBA and then gradually put those learnings into my business. And basically I gave that reason. And then he asked that if I really do the MBA and I join the college, what will happen to XAT and will it shut down? And I said that few of the products which I sell right now, like the candles, I won't be able to produce that, so they might not work out for a few years, but there are other services and other products which I offer which will be continuing. So then he laughed and said that, oh, then you will be operating while I will be teaching you in the class, you will be using your phone. Like, he just kind of joked about it. So then I explained how the XAT actually runs, how the entire process is online and how the things actually operates. So the next thing which actually happened was the professor one basically asked me, can I ask you few things from accounting? And if you guys know, I am not good with finance things, and I've already discussed this in my IMT interview. I will be linking that here. And I always tell, please be honest in your interviews. Like, no matter what they are saying or whatever it is happening, just be honest. Like, literally it saved me so many times. So I just said the truth that no, so I'm not really comfortable with accounting. I will really appreciate if you ask marketing or HR questions, because I actually want to take specialization in those. And it worked out absolutely fine for me, and he started with marketing and production questions. So that was like a huge relief. The next thing that he asked is, name 3 items or 3 things that I will be considering while starting a production. So I was talking about the products, demographic, the pestle, what are the policies. Then he just said, no, that is a wrong answer. You are saying from a marketing perspective. I want to know from economical perspective. So I was a bit confused at that point of time, because I could not recall anything which I could say. Like, I already talked about demographics and everything, so I was quiet for few seconds. So the professor said, okay, no issues, let's hop on to the next question. The next question he asked is, do I read? I said, yes sir, I try to. So sir says, no, there is no such thing as I try to. There can either be a yes or a no. So I said, yes sir, I read. So he said, okay, name the female sports person whose picture was recently portrayed in many newspapers because of a huge prize which she has won. Now I was clueless about it and I literally had no idea what he was talking about. So I just said, so sorry sir, I won't be able to answer it. Then he asked that, are you comfortable with the Russia and Ukraine crisis? I said, yes sir. Then he asked me to point out a very important event that happened on that particular day, like that particular day of the interview. So I remember watching the news just before interview, so I was able to answer that. So this was it for Professor 1. After that, Professor 2 jumped in and asked, whose side am I on, like whether I am supporting Russia or Ukraine. And after answering that, he asked, where is Ukraine, like the geographical location, and then asked whether I have ever visited Europe before, and I said no sir. After that, he basically said that our CM, that is Mamata Banerjee, has said that she will be making Kolkata equivalent to London, and he was basically being sarcastic and joking. So at this point of time, I totally got chilled out, like okay, the professors are really very friendly, like they are not at all grilling. And it was not that I was scared, but at the back of my mind, things were like, okay, I need to crack this interview, I need to be alert and things. But when he was asking, and he was kind of being joking about this, so I understood, okay, like it's not a very grilling interview. After that, he asked about the RCI, like why did I start it, like what was the reason behind it, what was my vision, why I actually wanted to sell art or print, or why my own brand. That was his question, so I answered it. Then he asked what are the platforms which I am using to sell my products and services. So I talked about my YouTube, Instagram, and my website is not yet finished, so I just explained everything. So he asked, why am I not partnering with Amazon or Flipkart? So I explained that to sell on Amazon or Flipkart, you actually need to be you need to actually have an official GST number, and you need to have a small business, like a full-fledged thing. So I do not want to do that right now, so I'm just selling autonomously. So then he asked if I'm selling art and prints and paintings, so who is actually making those paintings? So I said I do it myself. So then he asked, okay, if you are into art and you can paint, then why are you not doing a professional course from an institute like Rabindra Bharati or some other art colleges, and why do you want to pursue such businessy course like MBA? Both are on two opposite ends, so why this? So I had a very good reason for this, like I genuinely took the decision to not pursue an art degree and go for MBA in my life. So I just explained why I did the things which I did. Okay, so my battery just died out of the blue. Let's resume. So yeah, we were talking about why MBA and not art. So then he just gave me an advice that why not you do your MBA and you hire people who can actually draw, like they are professionally trained. So I said, sir, I am professionally trained. I have done my 7th year certification in fine arts, and I just explained the details there. And then he was like, okay, that's great, it was very nice meeting you. And then he asked, do I have other calls? So I said, yes sir, I do. So he asked to state all the colleges which I have calls for, and after doing that, the first professor intervened and asked about a particular college, like for which campus am I interested in or something like that, and I answered him. And then he asked whether I want to ask any questions from them. I did not have any questions, so I just said no sir. And yeah, that was the end of the PI. I said thank you and I left the meeting. Okay, now coming to the overall experience, the first thing is the entire process was very smooth. I did not face any issues. They were giving mails and everything, explaining the procedure, what to do at which step. So the entire thing was pretty decent. And the second thing was the teachers, like the professors who actually was taking the interview, were very good. They were very friendly, they were smiling, and it actually put me at ease, and they were not at all grilling. The third thing which I felt is that they did not ask many technical questions. All the questions were regarding me, my vision, my plans, my likes, dislikes, things related to that, and I am very comfortable at answering these type of questions. So it was a plus point for me, to be honest. And there were no GK questions, and the essay topic and the GD topic was also very common, and I could actually speak and write for that. And I actually converted GOA Institute of Management, if in case you are wondering. And if you want to know about my background, my profile, my percentile marks, I will be linking a video somewhere up here so that you can go there and watch the details for yourself. And as I said, if in case you want any form of help regarding interviews or CAT preparation, how to study, what to study, definitely reach out and I will be very happy to help. And yeah, that is it for today, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.